Hey guys, Sam Moses here doing I think my final journal entry for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been a blast recording these, and I might actually do some more in the future without, wanting to get a grade. Because again, I can talk about this game forever, it feels like. But today we're going to be talking about the power of sound and how it's the glue to the game world and how it keeps the player informed naturally, and then also more in depth into the balance between entertainment and immersion. Um, so yeah, let's get started. And today I'm actually in tall trees. I think I'm in a interesting spot. I think. Hold on, let me just check one thing real quick. Oh, I see what happened. Never mind. Anyways, sorry, I'm reloading a save where I totally got shot in the head and I remembered I was in the Grizzlies. Because there's a certain part in the bottom part of the map that you can't go to until later in the game, and it's a huge immersion breaker in my opinion. Actually, it ties into immersion. I'll talk about it later. But so yeah, I'm here, Arthur Morgan again, talking about sound. So sound, again, I think the perfect description is that it's really the glue to everything. Gunshots and NPCs yelling are great indicators often in the game for when to get involved in some action, especially those random side events. I think I talked about it. That's a diegetic way of informing the player. And music changing depending on game state. And also like the music in the score right now, which is phenomenal and fantastic, which is a word that I use constantly in these gameplay videos, but it still holds true. Hey, what's up, bud? What was I saying? The music changes, and right now, like, it's open world music, very etherealistic, I would say. Opposed to intense, very light and relaxing, and just lets you kind of enjoy the world as you see it. Like you see now. Oh. And then, of course, the sound of wildlife, I think, is unprecedented in this title. It's all good. I gotta eat some food real quick. Hold on. So yeah, it's fantastic. As always, I just want to say the sound of animals are great. It's especially for the fact that all the animals and sounds that you hear are natural, and actually you can find them and use it to your advantage. So I heard a bear back there. If I wanted to go find that bear, I heard a boar. I could go find the boar. I hear. Is that an eagle? Did I hear an eagle? Like that. I see. That is. That's why I came into this spot actually, for this purpose alone. Yeah, that's a bald eagle. See? Like, that's incredible to me. It's not just ambient sounds. It's not like Rockstar. It's not like Rockstar just had a full, a generic Foley list of sounds and just threw them over along with the music. They're programmed in the game. It's attached to each animal. Makes each, especially each environment, feel distinct and interesting. So yeah, let's talk about the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is just top notch. Everything about it. I think Woody Jackson has done an amazing job creating a score that's perfect for the tone. That's a good callback to past westerns, but also keeping something modern and very much distinct and personal to Red Dead. The tone is pitch perfect. It nails all the moments it needs to nail. I think the Braithwaite Manor moment is probably still one of my favorite pieces of him. It's so good. I can talk about that scene all day, just like everything else in this title. And then also the use of contemporary songs is a huge highlight to me. So I think how they use like a what's his name? Like there's a great. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I should really stay on the trail. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, it's late at night tonight. I'm a bit tired making this, but I just felt like I had to. Ooh. So my personal two favorites that's really stuck out to me was "May I Stand Unshaken" and also "That's the Way It Is," um, and especially "That's the Way It Is." This is the moment where I cried. It's really, they just use music perfectly at perfect moments in the title, and they know how to, and they did it also in the first game. I think Far Away, when you're riding into Mexico, is one of the coolest experiences for a lot of players. Just the tone is so perfect. So yeah, that's another example. Right here, a river. See, another example of sound. The river is nearby. It's louder here. It just really ties this ambiance all together. Oh, it's raining now too. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So that's where I kind of want to leave it. When it comes to sound, love sound. I think it's really important and a big reason why I think this game works so well. Like the hooves, the sound of the hooves gallops and hooves hitting the ground will change depending on the texture that you're on. Like when you're in Saint Denis, it's a nice, very satisfying clop clop sound, but when you're out here, it's big thuds. But also, I think the texture changes depending on it's not just oh you're on dirt or you're on stone. It's very particular, and I think the sound designers in this game and Foley artists really guarantee top-notch quality. And so I just huge thank you to all of them in the game in general. So yeah, so back onto the discussion of immersion and entertainment. Of course, with immersion and entertainment, it's a balancing act that I think a lot of people are still having a discussion on. So with that, so when it comes to countless, a big complaint I think people have is the amount of animations that play in this game, the amount of animations that you have that play out for Arthur for actions that he does, and it's not actions that he does once or twice, it's actions that he does constantly. So, you know, drinking takes a little bit of time, not a ton of time, but you know, it's not like you press a button and then you're filled and good to go. You actually have to give it a sec. Or looting, for instance. Looting could take time. You have to go up to each body and shuffle it and take a, you know, loot the body. I just want to point out real quick how much I love how Arthur holds himself a bit differently depending on if he's in the rain or not. What's going on? Is it the guy that gets lost and I have to lead him back? No, I'm good, bud. I'm good. I'm okay. Anyways. Oh, I'm gonna feed my horse. My horse is hungry. So yeah, that's an example I love. You can't, you have to clean your weapons. So actually, I haven't showed cleaning off what weapons look like. Actually, none of my weapons. Oh, here we go. So clean your weapon. You actually pull out your gun, look at it, hold square, and get a nice sheen on there. And it's good to go. Some people don't like that. Some people think that that's just too much, especially going from GTA. Grand Theft Auto is not known for its what's the word? I'm looking for a specific set of words, and I don't know. It's not known for its dedication to realism. I mean, you can drive at 80 miles per hour around in the middle of the city, and wow, what do they? Every time this game just blows me away. So it's interesting. When you first start off, this place is just a logging company, and you see people actually cutting down the trees, and people are working. You have little events. You can even meet the foreman and have a conversation with him. But as the game, of course, progresses, it goes away, like we have here, which is awesome to me. You can even like railroads are being built and stuff like that. Just like these cool. It just makes the world feel alive and moving, and same thing with the clouds. The cloud, like you can see the rainstorm I was in, which is really cool, and yeah, it's really, really cool. So anyways, another example is like you can't gallop at full speed in town because NPCs will yell at you and tell you to slow down, and sometimes you hit somebody that will have consequences, and I see a lot of people online discussing choo-choo. A lot of people online discussing how they don't like that, how it feels like it impedes on their progress. And what you'll see, a lot of people will play the game spamming X as fast as possible. So this is the full gallop right here. and that's tiring for your horse. But that's how people like to play. People like to get to point A to point B as quickly as possible. And I think what Red Dead does is that it asks for a lot of patience from you as a player. And I think a lot of titles don't really see that anymore. A lot of it's about instant gratification, but Red Dead very much wants you to indulge in its atmosphere. It's a slow game, and it doesn't pretend not to be. It starts you off in the cold, snowy mountains, and you can't run fast. And it's kind of like, you know, the first 3 hours or so, or the tutorial, your movement is pretty limited. You're trudging through snow. You're cold. You know, you have to follow where people go. It teaches you how to loot bodies. It's not about instant gratification. This game's very much about payoff and rewarding you for taking your time. And I think this game deserves praise for that, because I don't think enough titles really take that risk. I find it enthralling. I find the attention to detail and the cinematic nature fantastic. Like, going through water with your horse is just, oh, I love it. I love it. I think it's so cool how your horse actually has to navigate. So yeah, it asks quite a bit from the player, and it takes a lot of time and self-restraint, and I feel like the more you do that, and the more you indulge in its atmosphere and its world, the better it pays off. On my first playthrough, I was very quick. Or at least in the second half, it was very quick. I wanted to see what happened next, especially in the story. And I really wouldn't take the time to actually do what I'm doing now, which is walking through the wilderness and listen to the sounds and appreciate the absolute beauty and hard work that Rockstar has put into this title. Because if you give it a chance, the game is undeniably captivating. It's not like Call of Duty. You're not going to be shooting. You're not going to be always having little hit markers show up on your screen. You're not going to always get a kill streak. It's not about action at all times. However, I do think the missions sometimes forget that kind of tone that they go for, especially in the open world. The game wants you to take a moment to appreciate this, and I think the more you do that, the better experience you're going to have in this game. So what does it add? Why did Rockstar do this? Why did Rockstar potentially section off a player its fan base, its GTA fan base at least? Well, obviously they didn't. The game being an instant success of making almost $725 million opening weekend, being the most successful entertainment property launch for a weekend ever. But regardless, this game is not made for children. And not in the sense that, oh, it's violent, but in this fact that the amount of complex systems and the adult themes and the the slowness and patience it requires for you to truly get everything out of it. Like, I have my brother playing it, and my brother he's 17 years old. His experience of the game is pretty much goes from FIFA, extends to FIFA and maybe the Halo games that he played with me. And he's not the biggest gamer, and he likes GTA, loves GTA 5, but he loves GTA 5, but he's playing this one, and when I saw his save game, his health core was low. His Arthur was still wearing his winter coat, and that's another thing also is I forgot to mention also before, the clothing matters in this game. So if it's hot out and you're wearing a big old winter jacket, that's going to affect your stats a little bit. You're going to drain your health core a little bit slower. And I think some people really appreciate that, like myself. I think that's a really awesome detail and a really immersive mechanic, and other people don't. They hate it. They think it's cumbersome and restricts them, and I find it quite the opposite. I think it entrances you in the world even more so. But yeah, then I think that's the whole point. I think there is not necessarily the right way to play this game, but maybe a better way to play this game. My second playthrough, I've been enjoying it a lot more because I'm taking my time. I'm walking. I'm stopping to appreciate the lighting, the sounds, the busy work. My horse, Arthur's small animations. Occasionally he'll hum to himself if he's a little bit drunk, which is really nice, or I think he'll whistle too, which is nice, and it just helps me connect with him also as a character, and also makes just the world and events happening on screen all the more believable. And it's fantastic. I know I'm not talking about specifics in this one. I know I'm just kind of talking in this journal, but I think that's okay. Yeah, so I would say if you're planning on playing this game, just turn off the HUD. It helps. It goes a long way. Turn off the HUD, enjoy the colors, enjoy the wildlife, enjoy the scenery. Take your time enjoying Arthur Morgan. Enjoy the story, let it unfold, go out in the open world, explore, don't spam X everywhere, don't sprint everywhere. It's not gonna, it won't make the game more enjoyable, it actually makes it less enjoyable. And yeah, like the purples right now are gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous, the lighting is gorgeous, the animations are fantastic. It's just, slow down and appreciate it. And I think the game becomes infinitely more entertaining that way. Because if you spam and get through the world super fast, it sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, I know that mission. I don't want to do the mission. It's like that. I could do that side mission. I'm okay. Nah, I'm all good, but thank you though. But like Valentine's, perfect example.
Hey there, mister. Evening, son.
So yeah, that's all. I know it's a little bit shorter, a little bit less chaotic one, but there you go, right there. I'm galloping too fast.
Hey, you. What are you doing back here? You caused enough trouble, huh? Beating up half the saloon like that? Near killing Tommy out in the street? Feeling funny since then. Just move on. We don't need your type around here.
Keep your opinions to yourself, or you're next, okay?
Don't fellers like you ever get bored of pushing folk around?
Get your head out of your ass. Your friend had worse coming. I let him off easy.
Leave me alone. Back off.
Let's go, girl.
It's like that. Indulge in the conversation, listen. Yeah, I don't know if this has turned more into a PSA than anything else. I didn't mean for it to do this, but it's just an attitude that I think I see kind of lacking in this title. And I mean, of course, it's a Rockstar game. You can play it however you want. You know, the game is still a fantastic experience if you decide to spam X and go for it. I mean, I have a buddy that beat the game and he wants to play through it with his dad, and he's the type of guy that will try to get to A to B as fast as possible and will only just try to do the story mission. That's totally fine. But however, if you want to get the most out of this game, like just appreciate the beauty, appreciate your time with it. It goes a long way, and it pays off quite a bit. And I can assure you that this game will, yeah. However, some criticism, real quick. The game does have a problem with combat. It does gamify combat still. I think this game is behind in that sense. Often in missions, it will have good story, and then big shootout, and then ends. And then good story, and then big shootout, and then ends. And I think that's a pace that I think Rockstar still needs to learn how to outgrow. I think they've matured quite a bit with this title in terms of mission design and also what it asks from the player, especially in the open world. However, I think the... I'm
Easy, easy.
going to set up camp. Oh, it's this guy. I think, especially in combat, being how many enemies they throw at you, I think, in my opinion, I wish the combat was a little bit more difficult and a little bit more sparse, I guess.
Penny for the blind.
I will give you a penny. Just give me the option to give you the penny. Come on. Hey, bud. I will give you $1. Oh, man. Come on. Oh, I guess I'd give it. Alright, I'm not. I can't. I'm sorry, game. Game's not letting me do it. Anyways. It's a mechanic that I think is kind of outdated at this point. I'm going to set up camp. I think combat should, in my personal opinion, but of course, I'm not the making a $1 billion game. I'm just a stupid high school student. Not high school student. God, no. I'm a college student that has never made a video game in his life. But I really wish the combat was harder, a little bit more intense, and shorter. More on the lines of Last of Us in terms of how visceral and intense that it could be. I think that would have really just cemented the game more so. However, I can understand why Rockstar didn't go that route, because I feel like that would really, really alienate a lot of the a lot of the fan base quite a bit. But maybe in the next one, they've taken great strides already to make the game as immersive and different and slow already, but it's good for what it is, and the combat is better than before than it was in the first game. But yeah, so that's it. I think I think I'm gonna take a nice little sleep, and I think I'm gonna probably end it here. Oh, what is my knife doing? Anyways, so yeah, thanks for listening. This one was a bit different, maybe a little bit less academic than my previous ones. I didn't have as many pure bullet points. Why do you still have your knife out, Arthur? But all I really ask is just enjoy the game. Enjoy the gorgeous sunrises and gorgeous sunsets and the birds whistling. Because you're not going to find it very often in titles. You're not going to have a game that looks quite as good as this and quite as yeah, this is a one of a kind type of experience, and I really want I want more, man. I want more. But there's already so much here that I'm pretty content with what I got. Oh, looks like I got some bounty hunters to deal with. So I'll end it with a nice little fight, as I always do. Let's go get some high ground. So I think I'm going to be quiet for this next part. Let you just enjoy the combat that's about to take place. And yeah, so thanks for listening. I think this is going to be it for now. And yeah, Chicas, if you're listening, thanks for your awesome class. It meant a lot to me. This semester has been quite difficult, but your classes definitely would have been one of my favorites, so thanks. So, yeah, I'll leave it here. What?
Damn it, bastard's getting away! No way! Stop him!
Red Dead Redemption, everybody.